everyone, I'm Karen from the Peace Discipline channel, where you can learn all about nonviolent discipline. Today's video is part of a series on what not to do in discipline, and we will be looking at the silent treatment, why it's not okay to use it, and what we can do instead. This video will be relevant to parents as well as to teachers and anyone else who cares for or works with children. What is the silent treatment? Silent treatment is when you are cross with someone and so you go quiet, not peaceful quiet, angry quiet. I think you know what I mean. People often admit to doing this to their partners too, but whether you do it with a grown-up or with a child, it's mean and horrible to be on the receiving end of it. Once a teenager told me that she hadn't eaten for 2 days. When I asked her why she hadn't eaten, she told me that it was because her mother was angry and had gone quiet. I still didn't understand the connection between this and not eating, and so she explained that although there was food in the house, she was too scared to dish any food from the pot because she thought that might be the trigger for her mother to say, "Yeah, you want to eat my food, but you did X and Y." She knew that shouting and possibly a beating would follow. So this girl was walking on eggshells, trying desperately not to trigger her mother, and she hadn't eaten for 2 days. This is an extreme example, but it shows how unsafe a child can feel when the parent refuses to speak to them. Even when the parent is not as violent as this mother could be, silent treatment is a clear sign of danger to a child. They've lost connection with you, and you won't let them fix it. This is cruel. Children feel safe through connection, so freezing them out like this is a kind of emotional abuse. So the silent treatment is definitely not on my list of positive skills. It's punitive and mean and can be scary. What can we do instead of the silent treatment? If the child has done something to upset you, there are many other ways to handle this. Firstly, tell the child what they've done wrong and what they should do in future. You might use the words next time I would like you to, giving guidance for future situations. Secondly, guide the child to make amends for what they have done. Instead of punishing them for what they've done wrong, show them how to put it right. There's such a difference. With a silent treatment, the child feels like you'll never let them fix it. When you use making amends, the child can see what they've done wrong and how it's affected you, but they're able to put it right, and that feels much better for everyone. Thirdly, let's say the child's done something wrong and you really are upset and need some time to cool down. Don't use this as an excuse to do the silent treatment. Tell the child that you're upset and you need some time to cool down and go and take some time out. Tell them when you'll be back. Don't just turn to stone. You might say something like, "I'm really upset and I need some time to cool down. I'll be back in 10 minutes. After that, we can talk about it." One good thing about doing this is that it models a skill that a child can use themselves in future. When they're very upset, they could take some time out to cool down. That's a useful tool to have in life, and the parent is teaching this by modeling it, using it when they need it themselves. In this situation, the parent is walking away from the child and not speaking to them, but the goal is very different. The parent is taking some time out to calm down, not trying to punish the child. A question that sometimes comes up in the peace discipline workshops is about the difference between the silent treatment and something called planned ignoring. These are two different things. The silent treatment is a punishment, and it's manipulative and cruel. Planned ignoring is a recognized behavioral skill, and the big difference is you are ignoring a certain behavior rather than ignoring the child. And you're ignoring the behavior not to punish the child, but to avoid rewarding that behavior by giving it attention. So this is one of the nonviolent tools which we can use, but it needs to be used with care. For example, a teacher might tell children in the class that they're not going to respond to answers that are shouted out by learners who haven't even raised their hands. They will only respond and call on children who raise their hands and sit quietly waiting for their turn. Or a father might tell a young child that he's not going to respond to being kicked in the back through the car seat, that he will not say anything until the child speaks to him nicely without kicking. In each of these examples, it is the behavior which is being ignored and not the child themselves. Also, in each of these examples, the child knows which behavior will be ignored, and very importantly, they also know which behavior will not be ignored. They know which is the right behavior, the behavior that will lead to the attention they're wanting. In the classroom example, the children know they need to raise their hands and sit quietly. In the car example, the child knows that he must stop kicking and speak respectfully to his dad. In each case, the child has a path back to the parent or teacher, and they know what that path is. With the silent treatment, the child doesn't know the path back to connection. The child may try to make it right, but the parent or teacher won't let them, and they feel helpless and often scared. So let's not do that. Children need to feel safe with us emotionally as well as physically. They feel safe through connection and through our attunement to them. Attunement is when your responses fit with their signals. If they're trying to make it right and you're freezing them out, that is not attuned, and they will not feel safe with you. That's all for now. I'll be back soon with more on what not to do in discipline and more nonviolent tools that we can use instead. I hope you found this video helpful. Press like if you do, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like to find out more, you can visit the Peace Discipline website at peacediscipline.com. Thanks for watching.